Would the real Sacramento Kings please take a step forward? They allow 71 points in the first half, and in the second half, the Atlanta Hawks score only 39. Light the beam. The Kings win. Let me repeat. The Kings win 117-110. We welcome you to the postgame here on If You Don't Like That.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sacramento miscue. Carter, stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball.
Fox, goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley. That is a major league smush.
Thank goodness for De'Aaron Fox. Big second half, 31 points, made 8 threes. I don't care. You're on the road, get the win. After that horrible first half, that was a very encouraging 24 minutes of basketball we just watched.
Well, it's what we needed to see as Kings fans, right? It's prototypical for them this season. We know they can fight back. They win tonight, but it is a good way to sandwich this win in between the loss the other night and going into Memphis. So, Grant, like you said, will the Kings stand up? Who the heck is this team?
Harrison Barnes played only 12 minutes. I think Mike Brown's gone. I can't do it anymore. Keegan Murray played 35 minutes. I don't know what's going on with his shot. I really don't. You have Fox and you have Sabonis. Trey Lyles was, I think, the difference in the game for Sacramento off the bench tonight.
Yeah, and I would throw in Chris Duarte, too. He filled in that middle role, played a couple positions. I thought he was really good. But, yeah, those were the guys that stepped up for you. If you want to really focus in on what Monk did, he brought the energy. But then Lyles, he brought the consistency when it came to that corner three ball and the shooting. And it's the basketball the Kings rely on. But outside those players, Grant, you get nothing. You get 1 assist between the 3 other starters outside of Sabonis.
And let's put this into perspective. The Hawks are not a good team.
No.
All right. They're now 12-18, and they only have 4 wins at home. But you won on the road. You know, I really do believe any win on the road's a good win. So, now if you win against Memphis, you're 500 on the road for the year, and then you turn the calendar to 2024. When I mean on the year, I mean this basketball season, not the calendar year. But listen, we were down. What was it? 70. The Kings were down, 71-53 at the half? Is that what it was?
It was right around there.
And we said the first 5 to 6 minutes of the third quarter would be important. And the Kings came out and they took it to Atlanta. And it was a very manageable game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and credit to the Kings. Something that we've talked about is when they're on the road, once they get the lead in a game like this, don't give it back up. And they did that for the most part down the stretch and proved to be huge for them.
All right. Again, the Kings win at 117-110. We certainly appreciate the messages. We went through the Kings box. Trae Young ended up with 24 points tonight. DeJounte Murray with 18. The Hawks end up shooting only less than 40% for the game. I mean, they couldn't make shots. The worst thing that happened to the Hawks was the intermission. I mean, that's the worst thing that happened to the Hawks in this game is that they had a 15-minute break because they were rolling going into half, and then momentum completely changed at the start of the second half.
It did, but they got it back a little bit there. I mean, the Kings brought it close, about 4 or 5 points, and then Atlanta pushed it back to 9 or 10. So they just weren't getting the same looks, as you said, in the second half, and the Kings on the perimeter stepped up their defense like they needed to, and they weren't able to make the tough shots that they were making sometimes in the first.
All right. So again, Sacramento wins at 117-110. Next up, Memphis. And this is a much relieved team. This would have really snowballed had they not come out and played this way in the second half. I'm just telling you, I've been around teams a long time. This would have been a disaster heading into Memphis. Now you've regained some confidence. you feeling a lot better about yourself. And now you go in and take on a Memphis team that got blown out by Denver, and they play the Clippers tonight before they go back home. So we'll see how that fares for the Memphis Grizzlies. But again, they're playing in LA in a game that hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, keep your eyes on that one. Memphis hot right now with Ja Morant. So, and if you can't contain Trae Young like they couldn't tonight, that's going to be a problem come Memphis.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Again, Memphis lost their first game to Denver with since the return of Ja Morant. But, if you're Sacramento right now, what did it look like to you with Herter with the hand injury? And again, he only played 10 minutes. I hate to say this. This might be the best thing that happened to the Kings right now.
Yeah, it could be. It's a mix-up. I mean, Mike Brown's used to playing random combinations because on most nights he doesn't know where it's going to come from, especially off the bench, and that's what happened tonight. So maybe that new blood into the starting lineup does something for him. I don't know, Grant. Does it give you a chance to even explore the opportunity of Malik Monk going in there?
I think you got to shake this up right now. I don't like the way the team's playing. I know they won tonight, but that doesn't erase to me some of the issues that I'm seeing,
Yeah, and it raises another issue if you bring Malik into the fold, into the starting lineup. But, I guess at this point with this Kings team, it's you get the good feeling. You say we win the game, but you can't ignore the problem if you're Mike Brown. How do you not address a change beyond that's caused by injury? You have to look at Harrison Barnes, but then the question becomes, where do you even turn there, Grant?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, that's why he's getting paid millions of dollars, and we're just sitting here talking about it. 117 and 110. Again, you'll take the victory. You move on to Memphis, where the Kings will take on the Grizzlies, the final game of 22-23. Hey, I want to tell you about New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. If you have any plumbing needs or concerns, go to sackserviceplumbing.com or call that number on your screen. New Works Plumbing, available 24/7 for all of your plumbing needs. Again, sackserviceplumbing.com or call that number on your screen. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. So happy to have you right here on the postgame show as we are rolling along. The Kings get the win. Light the freaking beam. Didn't look like it was going to get lit an hour ago, did it? Looked like that.
No,
looked like that thing was going to be dark all night.
It looked like it was going to be flashlights. It was not going to be a beam. So,
oh my gosh,
if
incredible!
It'd be red.
Yeah. What did you think was the biggest key in this game?
That's a great question. I think it was keeping the ball in your stars' hands. You knew it was going to be Fox and Sabonis, and to a degree, Monk and Lyles that had to win this game for you because you weren't getting production outside of there. And in fact, that's what we're seeing almost across the board when the Kings win.
All right, we got Cambodia checking in as our international fans joining us here, in addition to all of the fans in Northern California. 117 to 110. Hope you are enjoying your morning over in Southeast Asia. Right now, Sacramento is going to make their way to the worst downtown area in all of the NBA, Memphis, Tennessee, where they will. Have you been to Memphis?
I have not. Tell me more.
Oh my gosh. It is the worst downtown area I've ever been in America. It's horrible.
Really? And FedEx is
horrible.
Down there, right? FedEx Forum?
Yeah. Terrible.
Interesting.
It's awful. Man, it's terrible.
It's the home of the Blues. Come on, Memphis.
I'm just telling you, it's terrible. Now, there's some gorgeous neighborhoods outside of Memphis. Beautiful. Yeah. Gorgeous. I like going there. But downtown, oh boy, downtown Memphis is bad. They got a couple of blocks from the FedEx Forum. They got a restaurant called Flight, which was excellent restaurant, Flight. But yeah, the downtown area of Memphis is horrible. I mean, it's terrible. They've really been hit hard by all of the economic issues going on in America. They've had a real difficult time in downtown Memphis, but who cares? Kings aren't going there to, they're going there to win a basketball game.
Yeah, and they're probably not leaving the hotel anyways. I mean, Grant, unfortunately, there's a lot of cities in the NBA that have arenas downtown where same case.
Sacramento, one of them.
Good point.
I mean, the Doco is beautiful, but other than that, all right, I'm going to go back to basketball. 117 to 110. The Kings get the victory, and we'll wait and see what the deal is on Herter. I want to talk more about Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
Because he has just had the most Jekyll and Hyde season. I mean, we were just talking about him, was it a week ago, where he had 47 points, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, with several opportunities to make 50 and had missed, I think, his last 2 or 3 threes. And it was just clicking. And by the way, I don't expect him to score 47 every night, but I don't expect him to play 35 minutes and score only 9 points either.
Yeah, I think there is something to what's being asked of him on the other side of the court as a second-year player. Being entrusted with guarding sometimes the best player for the other team can be a difficult task, especially with a free-flowing offense like the Kings. But Grant, I think it's just little things. It's finding Keegan's spots where he's able to create on his own. We know he can hit a spot up three. He's not getting that same look this year, which means he has to adjust. The other thing that I will say, you go back, you watch the tape on the 47-point game. When Keegan's had good games, his shot has more arc to it. And there's a reason I'm not sitting on the Kings bench. I am not a basketball coach, but I've been around the game a long time. But I challenge you, if you know the game, go back and look. His shot's a little bit flatter when he's not shooting the ball well.
All right, how about this from Serbia? We were 20 people here watching the game. 15 of them was on the way home, and 5 of us laughing, struggling for breath. Ha, 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 if you could only see my Kings friends here. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I know you love the East Coast games because you don't have to stay up as late. So for you probably love it when the Kings are in the Eastern time zone.
It's a real celebration. He gets to have burgers for proper breakfast tomorrow.
What'd you think of Davion Mitchell tonight?
Hey, I thought he stayed ready. He did his job. I thought he closed the gap on the perimeter. There was that little bit of space that was causing the issues. So good for him. And that's what you do. If you're a player on this Kings bench, stay ready. Mike Brown will come to you.
Yeah. And that's why it's a basketball team, not a basketball individuals. It's a team, and you got to rely on your bench. And I thought the Kings bench tonight saved the game, to be quite honest with you. The bench saved the game tonight.
Yeah, in the first half and the second half. I mean, you get a heavy dose of De'Aaron there in the second half, but in those very important times where the game could have slipped away, it was the bench that kept it.
How about this? No problem. We go on. Western game starting right now. Clippers game would be good. So those guys, they're going to stay up all night long to watch their NBA. That's incredible to me. Serbia, baby. You're the freaking best. How about the fans over in Serbia staying up all night long to watch their NBA basketball? You got to love it. You got to love it. Yes. Dobro jutro to everyone over in beautiful Belgrade. Yes.
Grant, something tells me if we ever met up with Baki and his friends, we wouldn't last a night with them. Probably not even a couple hours.
I'd last the night. It would be challenging, but I would get myself. I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't be able to just walk off the plane and do it. I'd have to get, at least one night's sleep and then meet them at like 4 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon, and see if I could stay up until the sun rises. I think I could do it. I think I could do it.
All right. You're going to go 4 in the afternoon. That's a little bit of cheating. You got to get a little day in. But that would be something else, Grant. You would need a water boy following you around probably.
I was over there for a week in 2007, but I was a young pup back in 2007. So I'm going to have to get my energy. I might have to get a Red Bull going in me. I'm going to have to figure out a way to go to Serbia and stay up all night with the gents over there. All right. Thank you for your donation, Grant. In your opinion, what does this King need to get past the first round? You know what they need, in my opinion? They need some toughness. They're soft.
Yes.
They're soft. They're just soft.
Yeah. And they need a second option. They don't have any option outside of isolation with De'Aaron Fox, which opens up Sabonis. So you put those two things together, they're going to be all right.
Said Grant Story from that hockey team when he bartended his goal. Yeah, I tended bar for the entire New York Rangers team on a Saturday night at the pub in Rye, New York. Yes, indeed. One of the great nights of my life. That was phenomenal. One of the great weekends of my life. Yeah. You know what? The saying, we drank the bar dry? We honestly did. They actually
I believe that.
No, we absolutely did. The beer bins were empty. There were still some bottles on the shelf that weren't empty, but for all intents and purposes, well, let's put it this way: Hitch, who owned the bar, who was tending bar that I relieved Saturday night after he had been tending bar Friday night, all day Saturday, and Saturday evening, was going to kick everybody out Saturday night, and they said no, and I ended up tending bar. Hitch came in on Sunday morning at about 6 o'clock and did kick everyone out because the bar was empty. Basically, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was one of those weekends. Rangers got eliminated from the playoffs in the second round, and that was the bar right next to their practice facility in Rye, New York. And it was one of the all-time nights. One of the all-time weekends.
Something tells me that bar probably gets more frequent liquor deliveries than like weekly. I'm guessing like every couple days.
I don't know about now, but back then, I don't know what, but those hockey players, boy, could they drink. And I remember serving, Ron Greshner, who was real famous because he was married to Carol Alt, a supermodel, cover girl supermodel, and she was extremely famous. I mean, like big time. Everyone knew Carol Alt. And she's sitting at the bar with Gresh and Tom Laidlaw, another defenseman, and they're drinking Jack and Coke. Because I remember what the guys were drinking. I mean, that was 1982, I think, or 83. And I still remember what I was serving some of those guys. Lades and Gresh were drinking Jack and Coke, and and they had their jean jackets on. And the thing I remember about those guys, and they were great players, Tom Laidlaw and Ron Greshner. And I covered Tom Laidlaw in college because he went to Northern Michigan, and Bowling Green was in the same conference as Northern Michigan. But they didn't move the whole night. They had their jean jackets on, their jeans, and they just sat there the whole night. And I don't even ever remember them getting up to go to the bathroom. They just sat there the whole freaking night. It was unbelievable.
They're professionals. So they're drinking Jack and Cokes. Were any of the guys drinking any foo-foo drinks where you're like,
no. There were no foo-foo drinks. It was beer. It was whiskey. I was not doing foo-foo. No. Now, most of the guys, the majority of the people, they were drinking beer. The majority. Yeah.
Good
and I'm
man.
not, this is not an exaggeration. When Hitch came in at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or when, I can't precisely remember. I do remember leaving and the light was out. I do remember that it was not dark anymore. Okay. But, and thank you for the donation. We really appreciate that. Live in Texas. It's a way to feel connected to my hometown. Go Kings. Thank you. We greatly appreciate
Love
that.
it.
But I do remember the beer bins were empty. There was no more beer. All right, let's get back to the Kings. Sorry about that. The team gets the victory tonight, and I don't really care how they won this game. They needed this victory big time to stop the bleeding. They had lost their last game on the homestand in Minnesota. They got embarrassed by a bad Portland team, and in the first half tonight, they got embarrassed by a bad Atlanta team. So I'm looking at this second half with a little bit of a thank goodness. You know what I mean? A little bit of a relief.
Yeah, totally. And I think somebody at the halftime show said the Kings have only won there like 4 or 5 times in so many years. So they absolutely needed it. Now the question just becomes, can they keep treading water in games like this to keep buying time to figure out whatever that issue is?
All right, don't forget about Calusa Sunrise, okay? And I want to tell you about Blazona Development and what they have going on in Calusa. It is Sunrise Landing. 6 models to choose from. You can make an appointment to go and check out all of these homes. No Mellorews, no homeowners. First phase already sold out. It is Sunrise Landing in Calusa. And again, if you go to CalusaSunrise.com, you'll get all of the information. Again, that is Sunrise Landing from Blazona Development. Final score tonight, Sacramento 117 and the Hawks 110. Light the beam, and it needed to be lit tonight against a bad Atlanta Hawks team.
Yes, it did. Light the beam. Grant, Ben's got something for you. He's checking in.
All right, just wanted to share on Christmas Eve, the home tour was very good. Great layouts, no pressure, and they share all the information and are transparent. I enjoyed my experience with them. I love to see that. Thank you very much. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a picture of that.
Oh,
Put that back on, would you please?
Ben, you're getting some extra love tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of that. We got right here.
Well done.
There we go. Love that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that message. Awesome. We love talking about it, and we appreciate the fact that they sponsor our shows. So thank you. And by the way, Dennis Blazona is a huge, 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 huge Kings fan. Huge. Dennis from Blazona Development, gigantic Kings fan. Loves the Kings.
Awesome. Just like some of our other sponsors. Gotta get Dennis some Kings takes and on here sometime.
Absolutely. 117 to 110 again. And again, we appreciate all of you that go to the website, CalusaSunrise.com. All right, so it's now on to Memphis. And the Grizzlies, again, are going to be playing in the Clipper land tonight. The game has not started yet. They are coming off a loss to the Denver Nuggets, who are currently playing home against Oklahoma City and are trailing in that game at the half, 54-48.
Yeah, that's one that's going to be one to keep your eye on. That could be a potential Western Conference finals matchup. But getting back to Memphis, I think that they've played a couple of good teams. Maybe they're overlooking Sacramento. Ja, he hasn't seen anybody as quick as De'Aaron yet, so that may be a big thing come Sunday.
Carl's watching from Manila. Hope everything is great with the new year in the Philippines.
Nice.
Can't really see the beam right now. I'm sorry about that. John, thank you. Yes, everyone, please give a thumbs up. And you know what you can do to make our new year even better? Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate that as the Kings lit the beam tonight as they beat the Atlanta Hawks. All right, let's give you some finals with 3:40 left. They're all tied in Houston. The Sixers without Joel Embiid playing the Rockets. I gave you that score with Oklahoma City and Denver at the half. Phoenix, they are really struggling, but they lead Charlotte by 10 at the break. Orlando beat the Knicks earlier, 117-108. The Wizards at home beat Brooklyn 110-104. Boston, two better than the Raptors, 120-118. Milwaukee goes on the road and beats Cleveland 119-111. A little bit later, San Antonio, Portland, and Memphis and the LA Clippers. So Sacramento gets the win, and they will head to Memphis. They'll watch the scoreboard and get ready to take on a John Morant Memphis Grizzlies team. Here's the deal with Memphis. They're a matchup problem for Sacramento, all right? Because you got Desmond Bane, and the Kings are blessed that they don't have to go against Steven Adams because he always kills Sacramento. But it's Morant and Bane. Those are the guys that when they get going, give the Kings fits.
Yeah, and don't forget about Jaren Jackson either. He's
Jackson.
that type of player that Andrew Wiggins kind of guy that does a little bit of everything down low for Memphis. So and that's those long perimeter guys, Grant, that the Kings are going to have to figure out a way to deal with. But with Alex Len back, I was really encouraged by the minutes he gave Mike Brown down low tonight.
By the way, check out the new merch available at ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. Go to my website, ifyoudon'tlikethat.com, click shop, and that link will be right there for you. And you can check out the new merch available on my website, ifyoudon'tlikethat.com. Also, I always say this, if you want to email me, gnapier@gmail.com. If you want to email Ryan, all right, Ryan in Sacktown, all right, Rhino in Sacktown, RYNO in Sacktown @gmail.com. All right. You have any ideas that you want to express on the show, things that you'd like to see that maybe we're not doing, or any other feedback, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Memphis is not 4-0 with Ja back. They lost their last game to Denver. Did they not?
I thought they lost. I'm with you, Grant.
Yeah, they lost. They lost to Denver. They got blown out, actually.
Yeah, but they're scoring, Grant. That's the thing about Memphis, and that's the wild card in this. Yeah. They're one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. I think they were right around 107.9 a game. So, Ja, does he change that? Yes, but look what the Hawks did tonight. And the Hawks, in the first half. They're not a high scoring team either.
So someone was saying John Morant didn't play in that game. I'm totally unaware of that. I didn't realize that. Did Judge? I didn't look at the box score.
I did not.
So,
I was more tracking the Gordon situation with the
right.
dog bite.
So I know. How about that, huh? Wow.
Scary.
That's 25 stitches in 2 areas. And that is scary. That's frightening.
Well, it's one of those life experiences. It's beyond basketball. So, I mean, to have to take a couple weeks away from the team, that's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how long, but whatever it is, it's not good. Yeah. So in that game that Memphis lost 142 to 105, I'm looking at the box score right now. And I thank you for everyone. I didn't look at the box score. I should have. That's my job. And so, I apologize. But yeah, that's one of the reasons. And hey, Rudy, thank you very much for your donation. First round on me. Love you, Grant. Wore that beef guy sidekick. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. But in that game, 142 to 105, Williams started in the backcourt with Bane. And you are all correct. Morant did not play because he was sick. All right. He had an illness. So there you have it.
Is that the game Jokic had the perfect triple-double?
Yep.
That's pretty incredible.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
He's pretty special. He brings a different approach to the game.
So we're talking about that game, right, where he had 26 points on 11-11 shooting, okay? He had 14 rebounds. He had 10 assists. But how about that? Did not miss a shot in the game.
Did not miss a shot. You look up efficiency, you're going to see a picture of the Joker right there in the dictionary.
And you know what I love about him? He was asked when he retires, he goes, I don't want people to remember me as a basketball player, and I don't want my kids to think of me as a basketball player. I want them to think of me as their dad and as somebody that, is a good father and a good husband. And he's not concerned with any of his notoriety. I mean, we're talking about a huge, huge figure. And I will tell you, and I mean this, and the fellows over in Belgrade would be able to attest to this. When I went over to Serbia for a week in 2007, they are hardcore basketball fans, not just NBA, but basketball fans around the world.
Yeah.
And they are extremely knowledgeable, as knowledgeable as any people that I've ever met when it comes to basketball. I mean, they know their basketball. But Vlade Divac in Serbia, in Montenegro, in that area, is a legend. All right. Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Greatly appreciate that. Thank you. All right. But I will say this. Vlade is a legend in Serbia. I was with Vlade that entire week in 2007, and I spent a day with Vlade in August of this past year. And even kids, okay, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids come up to Vlade and want their picture taken with him, want him to sign their jerseys, and he does it for everyone. And he has not played in the NBA for quite a while. Okay, he's 52 or 3 years old or whatever he is. My point is, he is a legend, okay? Nikola Jokic is a legend, meaning that when he's in his native land, every single person in the country knows who he is, but he doesn't care about that. Just like Vlade didn't really care about that. It's not what drives them, okay? And Vlade wasn't into all the notoriety. Vlade wasn't into being famous. It comes with the territory. But I will tell you that walking around that part of the world with Vlade Divac is like truly walking outside with a rock star. It's unbelievable.
Incredible. And it's funny because Vlade, like you said, in Jokic, they don't want the notoriety, yet they have all the notoriety that most of the guys that want it can't get. I think Jokic too, it's a different breed, like you said, because he didn't even want to go to the parade. He wanted to get home after they won the championship. Yeah. And I know he had his horse races and whatnot to get to, but he could be cashing in on his success. I mean, in professional sports, is there a player of his caliber that is less
No.
monetized? I don't think
No,
there
I don't think
is.
so. I don't want to go home. I want to go to Bennett's, and I want to order their Prime New York right now. That's what I would like. I would love to be at Bennett's right now, any of their 3 locations, but I would choose right now the West Side Grill, because in all likelihood, Brian's there, and I would love to go in and say hello to Brian. But he's at all 3 restaurants, Eureka and Lead Hill Road in Roseville, or Howe and Fair Oaks in Sacramento. Bennett's is at the Blue Oaks Town Center in Rockland. Go to bennettsrestaurants.com, make a reservation, check out the menu and more. Prime seafood and steak. Don't forget about their weekend brunch, the weekend prime rib, happy hour specials during the week on drinks and apps. Check it out, bennettsrestaurants.com. How does a nice steak at Bennett sound right now to celebrate this Kings win?
Absolutely incredible. As long as you get the redfish and we can split a little bit, do that thing where you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah.
Viaggio, Italian love. Yeah, okay.
And I love it when they have the wild mushroom soup. Oh, I love that
Yes.
soup. It's so freaking good. Oh, gosh. Now I am really getting hungry. I love Bennett's. I love it. And I love the people out there and their staff. And we love it. We love going out there. All right. So, all right. I want everyone that's watching to understand something. The man next to me is going solo on New Year's Eve.
Party time.
Ryan in Sacktown. So I need all of you to join pregame, halftime, and postgame with Mr. Solo. Now, I don't know if he's going to invite somebody on with him.
Maybe.
You never know. You just never know. But the man is going solo. And, last year at this time, I would have been maybe a little nervous. This guy is a freaking professional now. He's ready. Okay. He's got all of his reps in. He did the pregame last year, but no, he's good to go. But what he learned when he went solo earlier this year for all 3 shows, it's like, Napes, I'm worn out, man. That's a lot of talking. I'm like, yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
And you throw some other stuff we were doing on there on top. So yeah, no, I'm excited. Come in. We'll have some surprises. It'll be a good time. And Baki, I can't confirm whether or not Grant's showing up in Serbia for New Year's. So you'll just have to find out.
Bennett's is fantastic. What a great sponsor, Grant. Thank you. They are awesome. Love them. Phenomenal. Love them. Rhino, I will just wish you then a happy new year, my friend, because this will be our last show of 2023. I greatly appreciate you. And I got to tell you, it's been really fun to watch your development where you're so good on the air now and you got all your reps in. And it's been really fun to watch you take off and do a lot of your things on your own. And so I'm grateful for you and can't wait for 2024.
Thank you, Napes. I really appreciate it. And just learning from you has been the best. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. One other thing about the basketball in Serbia, and it's my pleasure, trust me. My daughter now asking every morning, what was the score at the Kings game? Every morning singing Holy Moly into school. Other kids are following the song. How about that? So we got Holy Moly Jim Bob Boli now in the Serbian school system. How about that, huh?
Next thing you know, Jerry Reynolds is going to get royalties again, but they're going to from Serbia schools.
Hey, we take Euros. We'll gladly take the Euros. You know what I mean? No problem. I shouldn't say we. That's Jerry's line.
Yeah,
Jerry will take them.
That's all right.
Hey,
I mean, you get a finder's
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, you get a little finder's fee, just a little one.
There we go. All right, buddy. Happy New Year to you and to everyone else that is not able to join us or join Rhino for the Memphis Happy New Year. But please, on New Year's Eve, this is the place to be. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Kings win 117-110. Keep that beam lit. Keep it lit all the way into 2024. So long, everybody.